Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Deadliest Catch quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. So you must have completed these quests, the Tower of Life and a Druidic Ritual, and you'll also need the following skills. You cannot boost any of these however, so you need to have the physical level, 67 Hunter, 70 Thieving and 70 Fishing. That's it for the requirements, and on to the items. There are no actual items you're going to need. The only thing that will come in handy is the Tirannwn Lodestone teleport, as that's where most of this quest will be featured around, so that's the only thing I'd recommend having. Anyways, that's it for requirements and items. Now onto the quest starting point. So we're currently at the Tirannwn Lodestone, surprise surprise, which can be accessed via the Lodestone network. And to start the quest we need to go speak to Jones, who is a seasoned fisherman, and he can be found just outside the bank in the fishing guild north of where the Lodestone is. So you're going to head that way now. So when you speak to Jones, he'll say he's seeking to obtain glory by capturing the Tirannwn, a legendary sea creature. Jones is hoping to find an experienced fisherman willing to aid him, and after speaking with Jones he'll reveal that he needs your help to enlist a rower, obtain a sea chart and forge a giant harpoon that is capable of bringing it down, and he'll give you some harpoon plans. So in order to get the sea chart, Jones recommends pickpocketing the master fisher to procure the sea chart, as he may not be willing to part with it. So you want to successfully pickpocket the master fisher, which may take a few attempts as he may spot and stun you, and he's obviously located at the entrance of the fishing guild. After successfully pickpocketing the Master Fisher, speak to him about finding a Master Smith, and he'll mention that Linza, a nearby smith who is working on a few projects, might be able to help, but be sure to speak to the Master Fisherman before searching for her or she won't show up. So Linza can be found in the small town of Heminster, which is located north and slightly east of the fishing guild. When you head over that way after speaking to the master fisherman, you want to talk to her about making a harpoon, and you will pique her interest when you mention the Tirannwn, and she'll reminisce on her experience hunting cryptid creatures. She'll then agree to make a giant harpoon for you in return of one of the Tirannwn's teeth, and she'll then hand you the giant harpoon which you want to return to Jones with. So we now need to recruit a rower. So what we need to do is head to the Tower of Life, which is located southeast of Tirannwn. Now if you have the Tirannwn cloak you can choose to teleport to the monastery and head there. If not, just sort of head south through Tirannwn until you reach that area. You want to speak to the Guns, who is Jones' cousin, who can be found lifting a log just outside the tower. He claims that he would be more willing to assist with the endeavour, but his seasickness prevents him from travelling out to sea. However, he mentions that his cousin usually made him a sea legs potion whenever they went fishing. So to make a sea legs potion, a lowland heather must be combined with the builder's tea, which is obtained from Bonafido, who is another builder in the vicinity, and there are patches of lowland heather surrounding the Tower of Life. You want to search the patch which is not infected, which is different for each player, until you find some normal heather, otherwise the infested one is full of aphids. After you have picked a lowland heather, you want to speak to Bonafido for some of his builder's tea. You then want to use the tea he hands you with the lowlands to concoct the sea legs potion for the guns, and you want to return to him with the newly brewed potion, and satisfied he'll offer you a return back to the fishing guild to meet with Jones. So after returning to the fishing guild and speaking with Jones, he will take the party out to sea, and a small vessel will arrive at the wreckage, and certain wrecks must be investigated to reveal the Talassus trail. So this is very identical to the method of tracking various animals in Hunter, but instead of paw prints, you'll need to follow the trail of debris, and you'll have a choice out of 2 or 3 different spots to investigate, and that will then reveal a new debris trail if you do this correctly. Now the curiosity bar will fill with each wrong investigation, and 5 mistakes are allowed when investigating the trail. Should you investigate the wrong wreck 5 times, the trail will reset, but the correct solution will remain the same. So what you want to do is kind of make a note on which wreckages you searched or inspected in order to keep track of where you got up to in case you do it more than 5 times, and then that way it will be easy to remember where you got up to. You can also have various items looted from the wreckages if you choose to search them, and you'll be able to choose which ones you claim at the end of it. It will only let you carry a certain one at a time, and if your chest gets full, you'll have to choose to get rid of an item if you wish to take another one. So yeah, in terms of finding the correct sort of wreckage trail, the main advice I can give you is to make a little note on what you investigated as you start going around, and then just obviously make a little note to yourself which that bit was. So normally it's quite easy, the solution, you know, the debris trail heads in a certain direction, and you just got the choice out of 2 or 3, and then just keep repeating this process until you eventually get to the end of the trail. So after completing the trail to uncover the Talassus, the monster will surface, knock you and Jones overboard and swallow Jones, and you'll then wash up onto the shore of a small island with 3 mermaids who will mock the expedition and to reveal their loyalty to Talassus. To diminish the confidence of the mermaids, the following options must be chosen. The Talassus has eaten Jones the mighty fisherman. It should, he's been hunting for decades. Very horrid, after he's killed Talassus he'll probably come after you. Trust me, I'm a great adventurer. Did I mention Jones has a harpoon with him? And it's no ordinary harpoon. Choosing an option different from the ones listed above will reset the mermaid's confidence, and you'll have to start the dialogue over again. So after putting fear into the mermaids, they'll insist on tracking Talassus down once more in order to force Jones from the beast's bowels. So we now need to track this creature down a second time. The track uncovered will be different from the one you've done previously, but the concept of it is identical like before. So obviously just do the same strategy you did with the first one, and obviously if you inspect the wrong wreckage 5 times, it will reset, but the solution will be the same. Now at the end of the trail, Talassus will then once again surface from the depths, and guns will throw a carambran at the monster, and upon eating it, Talassus will sick up and expel Jones back onto the boat, and then the guns will make a break for land. Back at the fishing guild, Jones will reveal that he managed to snag a tooth from the beast. You want to take this tooth to Heminster and deliver it to Linza, who will thank you, and then once you've done that, you want to return to the fishing guild one last time to talk to Jones and finish the quest. So after you finish speaking to him, he'll thank you and it'll come up, congratulations, you have completed Deadliest Catch. You're awarded 1 quest point, 70,000 fishing experience, 26,000 hunter, 8,000 thieving, any loot that you got from the wreckages, wieldable fishing nets after speaking to Jones, which is a small cast net and a big cast net. You'll have the option to hunt the Talassus 10 more times, and new bank deposit boxes will be in the following locations: northwest of Bedabin Camp, south of Elf Camp, west coast of Harmony Island, west coast of Mortmire Swamp, Piscatora south of the Falconry, northeast of Polna Viac, south coast of Ape Atoll, south of Brimhaven. So they're all near hunter locations. Also 2 treasure hunter keys and 2 hearts of ice. So there we are, quest complete. So overall, not a really difficult quest and not really a long quest either. The only bit that's going to take the time is tracking down a Talassus, but like I said, the easiest way to do that is to obviously just make a little note to yourself what wreckage was the correct one and keep track of that as you do it, and after a couple of fail attempts you will do it. Now there is a additional reward, so like I said, you have the option to hunt the Talassus 10 more times. This will give you different hunter experience every time you find him successfully, but it gets more difficult each time. However, to successfully hunt the Talassus 10 more times is a requirement for the Completionist Cape and Master Quest Cape, so you may wish to do that. Now, instead of me sort of doing a really lengthy guide on that, what I will do is tell those of you who are interested what is the easiest way to kind of complete this, and then obviously that will be all part in one video. If you're not interested in that, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Now, for those who actually want to hunt the Talassus down, it's pretty much the same concept as what you did in the quest. However, it gets a bit more difficult, and there's different things that will interfere with it. So for the first 3 times hunting him, you'll only be allowed to make 4 mistakes. So this will obviously mean you've got less chance of obviously finding the trail successfully in one go. Now there is something you can use. I chose not to use it, but it may be worthwhile. There's basically a blank map for the Talassus, because all it is the wreckages are always in the same place, but it's the solution or the pattern he travels in is what's different. So what you can do, you can use this image, and I'll have it shown on the video now so you can do like a print screen of it, which shows you all the wreckages, and the one with the little yellow arrow is where you always start off. And what you can do as you're obviously hunting the Talassus down, you can make a little mark on this image using paint or whatever to know what areas is the correct solution, and you can obviously then reset this each time. So you can use this for all 10 of the hunts. That might help you out a bit. So the first 3 are quite easy and very simple, and obviously you're only allowed to make 4 mistakes. The next lot is when it gets a bit more tricky. So between the 4th time and the 9th time hunting him, the mistakes you're allowed to make will be 3, so obviously that decreases. You'll also have limited rowing energy, which is the gun's energy, and it's basically linked to your run energy in game. So now there is a little cheat you can use for this. If you've completed as a first resort quest, you can use the Uglog salt water spa, which will then normally gives you infinite run energy between 10 and 25 minutes. This will actually work in the same way for the guns, so the guns will then have unlimited run energy for this time, and that will then help as well, because basically all it's going to do is take longer to hunt down the Talassus with less throwing energy. So that's a way around that. So obviously you've got that option to use once you start having the limited energy. And I just realised I did make a little mistake. It's from the 2nd time hunting him onwards that you'll have limited energy. So it's only the first time that it will be normal. From that point onwards you'll always have limited energy. But you can go back to the spa and go in it again if you run out of the infinite energy. And then the last 3 are a bit annoying. So what will happen is the wind will keep changing your compass orientation every now and again. This isn't a real pain. There is something you can do to get around this. So as long as while you're hunting the Talassus down you keep your mini-map sort of the compass pointing north, if the wind then blows your compass orientation, all you need to do is click the compass to point you directly north again, and you won't lose track where you are. If you're constantly panning your camera around, and that's what's going to throw you off, so I would advise doing that when you get to sort of the 8th time hunting it until you've completed all 10. And in the 10th and final one, obviously you're going to have a combination of the wind changing the compass, limited energy, and you'll only be allowed to make 2 mistakes, so that will be the really sort of tricky one. Now each time you hunt the Tilassus, you can aim to search different items from the wreckages, and you can only obtain a certain amount of items which will give you different rewards. Me personally, the rewards aren't that brilliant, so it's like 5,000 coins, some runes and all that. It's pretty much minimal loot, and I'd rather spend that time, which I did, trying to complete the hunting of the Tilassus to save myself time. So it's up to you whether you do that or not. But yeah, other than using the little image that I've shown you about marking where the correct solution is, obviously the Ooglog water spa for the infinite run, and the keeping your compass pointed north, there's nothing really else there that I can help you with in order to hunt down the Tilassus 10 more times. As long as you do the similar sort of way you did during the quest, it won't take you that long. I think it took me about an hour altogether to complete the hunt for the following 10 times, and like I said, the only requirement for that is you'll need it to get the completionist cape and the master quest cape. But yeah, so that's the whole guide on the quest and the mini quest. If you run into any problems at all, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Thanks everyone, bye bye.